Happy Saturday. Okay, this is a short video on impairment related work expenses. I'm primarily doing this right now for people who have not filed, or they have a pending file, and they're still working part-time, and they've become concerned with or have been told by the SSA that they are working and earning too much. As you might know, the first step the SSA has to determine when you file is if you are able to work substantially and gainfully. And there's a number called SGA, Substantial Gainful Activity, which for 2022 is $1,350 a month. This is before taxes and deductions. So you can't say, oh, but after my taxes, it's less. No, it's the gross amount. If you are earning more than that, as the bottom line, you will be found not eligible for an application to really even be taken and processed if the SSA gets the figures in time. If not, it's just going to retroactively be that way. So for those of you that think you can't file right now because of your income, I want you to give a consideration to impairment related work expenses, IRWEs. We also sometimes call them IRWEs around here. They are your copays that you need for your specialist, for your disabilities that you are claiming altogether disable you from working full-time. They could be copays for specialists, potentially primary care, your medications copays. If they are prescription, it can be equipment. If you buy a TENS unit, for instance, that can be used. Sometimes these things are extrapolated over the months they're going to be used. Sometimes they can be used in the month that they're purchased. Consumables. So for instance, a TENS unit with electrodes, that could be a monthly expense. If that individual uses it regularly during the week, you could be going through a whole packet. You could be blowing 50, 60, 70, dollars a month potentially, or something less. But if you are flirting over the SGA line of $1,350, and this is not uncommon, I have another video on things to be careful for about when working part-time and filing, or you've already won. And one of them is flirting with SGA or dancing with that fine line, because there's some things that will unknowingly or unexpectedly put you over the SGA amount. This could be the tips you receive, or taking an extra shift because your boss really needed you to. Check out that video. But if that happens, and if you are now over SGA, and it can blow your case, or after you've already won, it can make you not eligible for benefits anymore, depending on what period of time you're in, or it can make you ineligible for the payment you just got and you got to give back. So, but let's just focus on when you're deciding whether you should file your claim. I have a video set on the strategies of timing when you're going to file your claim to make it the strongest case possible when you go in, based on evidence and a few other things. So this will probably be placed in that segment. But you keep your receipts, keep your bank statements or credit card statements, which you pay it. Just keep everything in a box. I have to tell you, I had an overpayment case recently where the person was years later determined by the SSA to have been overpaid by almost 6 figures. And we were able to get that whole overpayment wiped off because we proved that every month it wasn't really over SGA she was working for those years because of her IRWEs. It was a beautiful thing. It took us a few years. It was a nightmare. Better yet, those months that they withheld the money from her later on from her retirement because of this overpayment, it was now considered an underpayment. So now they owe her close to 6 figures. We'll see how long it takes to get that paid. But it's really important. And no, I don't take overpayment cases. This was a fluke. It's not going to happen again. I will consult on it though. But consulting is not the same as taking on the case, and it comes with a billable fee. But hopefully you won't need to do that, because you're going to be following this guidance on keeping your receipts forever, kind of forever. Definitely for a long time. Again, your copays, your specialists, your PCPs, your medications, your equipment expenses. There might be something about, and the details, the devil's in the details, but there's other things too, like if someone has to pay someone maybe to I'm not sure, drive them to work because they can't drive because of their disability. That may not be so. So I'll have to double check that one. But I know there are certain things about having to have an aid to help them do their job. So just consider the IRWEs, particularly those easy ones I'm talking about that are all within your domain. How many people don't have doctor's appointments on a regular basis? How many people, if you have a procedure and your copay can be kind of large when it's a procedure, right? If it's the 20% or whatever, keep track of all that stuff. Keep the receipts, keep the bank statements, keep the credit card statements. There's so many people that this will prevent from not being able to file, or for protecting once they have, because they can say, no, it looks like SGA, but it's not. See, I'm allowed to deduct these. It will be a huge boon. So take notes. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.